It seems that BetterUp's ticking clock is louder than ever, from a once promising coaching company to what's now a shadow of its former self. BetterUp's future looks as shaky as Prince Harry's reputation. The signs were all there: a slowdown in growth, mass layoffs, and whispers of poor management. It's almost as if BetterUp's following the exact same trajectory as Harry's career since he ditched the royal family. Let's start with the obvious growth, or the lack thereof. Once a company riding high on ambition and some hefty investment, BetterUp's now struggling to keep its head above water. According to reports, the company's been facing a serious slowdown, particularly in its revenue growth. Sure, the economy's been a little rough, but let's be honest, this isn't just about macroeconomic challenges. The reality is that BetterUp isn't delivering the kind of value that they promised, and the market's response is crystal clear. And then there's the layoffs. Several rounds have come and gone, with employees getting the axe left and right, which always makes you question a company's stability. BetterUp's cutting costs, but don't worry, they're still paying Harry his princely salary for no one really knows what. The paycheck's a nice gesture for all those press releases that they can print about him being the chief impact officer. If only that impact was more than just the damage done to the company's reputation. The real kicker? Leadership, or rather the lack of it. According to Glassdoor, reviews about BetterUp's leadership are downright scathing. Apparently there's a whole lot of aimless wandering, bad decision making, and a general absence of direction, which isn't surprising considering the company's trajectory looks more like a spiral than a path to success. But what do we expect from a company that thought it was a good idea to appoint Prince Harry as Chief Impact Officer? Then there's the curious case of Marc Benioff, BetterUp's big-ticket investor. The Salesforce mogul has been shifting his allegiances, cozying up to political figures like Trump and Musk. If that's the direction Benioff's going, don't be surprised if he pulls the plug on BetterUp entirely. And let's not forget $300 million might seem like a lot of money, but that was basically seed money. It's not exactly the kind of investment that shows long-term confidence. Benioff's probably looking at his $300 million loss like a tax write-off at this point. The writing's on the wall, BetterUp's days are numbered. Harry's salary, reported in the range of $1 to $5 million a year, was likely just a PR stunt to boost the company's image. Who wouldn't want a royal on the payroll to give them some legitimacy? Except now it's starting to look like that royal connection's more of a liability. Layoffs, employee dissatisfaction, and yet Harry's still cashing checks doing absolutely nothing. It's almost like BetterUp's paying for the privilege of being associated with a man who's about as good for business as a wet blanket at a campfire. And if you think this story can't get more absurd, let's talk about BetterUp's alleged government contracts. These were likely tied to Harry's connections to the Biden administration. But with a change in leadership, these contracts are about as safe as a sandcastle in a hurricane. Don't expect that gravy train to last long, especially with the shift in political tides. Harry's probably already running into issues with his visa status too, given that he's raking in a salary while living in the US under an A1 visa, typically reserved for heads of state. So what's next for BetterUp? A corporate implosion, likely led by Harry's lack of contribution and the company's inability to deliver on its promises. In the end, the only impact Harry's had on BetterUp is the damage to their credibility. Tick-tock, BetterUp. Time's running out.